Hello, I'm going to do a quick video for you all of my supper tonight. I'm actually using one of our mixes, which I will show you, our creamy pesto parmesan chicken mix. I'm changing it up just slightly, not really much at all. The recipe would have you take some chicken, a pound of chicken breast, and cook that up. But I actually have some leftover chicken that I had just cooked in the oven the other day. It didn't all get eaten, and so I'm just gonna kind of reinvent it with tonight's supper. So that's the only thing I'm really changing from the package directions for this one. There are lots of recipes on Epicure's website though for other uses for this mix, but what I am doing is I am gonna use my already cooked chicken and kind of skip that first step of cutting up chicken and cooking it, although I am still gonna have to cut up my cooked chicken, but the rest will be the same. And then something I'm doing to go with this is I'm going to have herb and garlic seasoning I'm going to use on some crescent rolls, just to change those up to kind of have some garlic crescent rolls for my family to eat with it. I won't eat those. Another option though to make those gluten-free is you could use the easy peasy pizza crust mix that Epicure sells that is gluten-free. You could just make it according to the packages, roll it out, and then instead of making a pizza with it, use this mix with some butter, spread that all over it, and bake it. That would be really good. I just decided, since I was the only one that would be eating that tonight, I wasn't gonna bother. I'll just skip the bread part tonight and use a quick crescent roll recipe for my family. Either one works. It just depends on what you need according to your dietary restrictions. And so what I've already done is I have my oven preheating to 375. I have a pot of water on my stove boiling away. That's why you see that steam coming out. Because I am gonna cook some pasta to go with this. Now the pasta I am using is brown rice pasta. So that is gluten-free. That is something I can eat. And it's just these little spirals. But you could use whatever pasta you desire. This would also be really good just with some like garlic mashed potatoes, which I almost did. You could just season that up with some of Epicure's roasted garlic seasoning. It's delicious. Or it would also be good served on top of rice. Any of those would work. So do what works for you and with the ingredients you have on hand. So let me angle this camera down. Actually, I'm gonna add these noodles to my pot over here because it is ready. And everything else is gonna come together fairly quickly. So brown rice noodles need to cook a little bit longer than your regular noodles. So I have our 3-in-1 spatula. That's what I'm gonna use to just stir it over here and get it cooking. And then while that is cooking, let's get started on our crescent rolls. I am going to angle my camera down so you all can see. I have our baking sheet lined with the silicone liner, which I love because it has this ledge. And so especially, I cooked the chicken in this the other day, and it was great because the juices and things didn't come on the other side of my mat. They stayed right inside my silicone mat. And when I was all done cooking, I picked up that mat and I poured the drippings off into our compost bin and then just gave this a quick clean up. The silicone cleans so easily. So that's what I'm using tonight for our crescent rolls. Not that this will be overly messy, but I know it's not gonna stick when I have it on this silicone. So just pop your crescent roll open. Oh, mine's really wanting to stick to the package, so get that open and out of there. And then you're really just gonna do these just like you would regular crescent rolls. You're gonna pull them apart, but before you roll them, you're gonna take a couple tablespoons of butter, melted, and you're gonna add to that 2 teaspoons of the mix here. I think I did the right size. And you're gonna brush that on your crescent rolls before rolling them. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of the mix with 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 and 2. And once I've got that brushed on, as you can see, we're just gonna roll it. And pop it on. You could even brush a little bit more on top. I don't know if that one's in your screen. I'll do another one so y'all can see. So brush my butter mixture on. I think half of this crescent roll might have come off. And then roll it. This is gonna be a little guy. And then once you've rolled it, put it on your pan and brush a little bit more on. I'm actually doing everything on my pan because why dirty another dish? We're gonna keep cleanup simple tonight. These crescent rolls, normally they would not fall apart this badly. I don't know what's going on here, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be neat to work. Roll it up and brush some more butter on. And this guy, as you can see, is really falling apart. So we'll just do a little patchwork. Crescent roll's pretty forgiving. I'm just gonna, patch it up there. Again, it doesn't need to be neat. You could even do little knots. You could tie it in knots and make little garlic knots with this. But we're gonna stick with kind of the traditional shape. And as you can see, I'm dripping some butter on my pan. That's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's gonna be easy to clean up. There we go. This is a good crescent roll. Let's try to demonstrate with this one. Brush on your butter mixture, roll it up. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. And then brush on a little more of your mixture. And I've got 3 to go. Now, I'm also, with this, having some pasta. You could do another veggie. I'm not going to because the creamy Parmesan chicken has spinach in it. And so I'm not gonna bother with another veggie side. We're just gonna do it with that, the pasta, and then our crescent rolls. But a good veggie with this would be some broccoli, even some corn. And again, you could use this butter, herb, and garlic mix to season your veggies too. It would go very well with everything. Okay, I'm gonna brush the last of my butter mix on these and pop these into the oven. And I'm just gonna cook them according to the directions on the crescent rolls, which they're supposed to cook at 375, and I think it's for 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. So, pop that into my oven. And now let me show you what I'm doing, the chicken. As I said, the package would call for you to cook up your chicken, but we are going to use pre-cooked chicken, and that's actually gonna save us a little time too in the cooking process. So this is, by the way, our 4-in-1 spice spoon. That's what I use to dish out my herb and garlic seasoning. It is wonderful. It has tablespoon measurement, 1 teaspoon, and then on the other side, 1/2 teaspoon and 1/4 teaspoon measurement. So it's nice to have it all in one simple tool. I'm gonna take this chicken and just kind of cut it off the bone. I'm using the Prep Pro paring knife, which they don't currently have, but they do have a Prep Pro chef knife. So I do love my Prep Pro paring knife. It works great for me. I've had no issues at all using it. It's very sharp. I have to be careful actually sometimes. And I'm just kind of coarse chopping my chicken. Some of it I'm gonna pull off and then chop it up. Sometimes I find fingers work best to get the chicken off the bone. Clean fingers, of course. I've washed my hands up. And I'm just gonna chop this all up real quick. It won't take long. I'm feeding this to my family. I don't need to have fancy, perfectly sized pieces of chicken, they are not going to care. It's all going to taste good, and that's really the only thing that matters to my crew, is that the food tastes good. I also want to mention something that I'm going to be making, hopefully in another video you'll be able to see later, and that is I'm going to take the pumpkin spice muffin mix and I'm going to make it into the petite, use the petite pan to make mini loaves. Those are great to send in my kids' lunches. And I made the sweet banana bread mix in it, and my kids gobbled it up. They didn't even know it was gluten-free. Well, they knew because I told them, but they couldn't tell before I told them. Which I don't know if that's good or bad. Sometimes I like that I can tell them things are gluten-free and they tend to avoid it. But it didn't work with the sweet banana bread mix. So I'm hoping the pumpkin spice loaf will be the same. I have not tried that yet, but I'm sure it'll be very good. I should also mention, for those of you who haven't seen it already, there have been Tinsel Tuesday promotions going on this time of year. And those items are selling out fast. And so you're not always guaranteed to get something you see then. But a lot of times there are other products that are similar, or other items that are always in the catalog that you can, even if they go out of stock for a time, you can be guaranteed they will come back. And so check things out on Tuesdays. Be watching for those specials. There's a couple weeks left of that. And if you see something you want, get it fast, because it may not last long at all. But also, if you see something you may like but you're not sure about, ask. See if there's another product that's similar. I know this last week there was a spatula that was really popular, a corner spatula, and it was a bigger size and definitely would have been a very useful tool, but they sold out very quickly. And I suggested to one of my customers that they just try the 3-in-1 spatula. It's a little smaller, but I love my 3-in-1 spatula. It has a corner tip on one side and a rounded on the other. It has a slight indentation like a spoon. It works wonders, and I use it for many, many things. So, okay, I think I'm not gonna worry about that last chicken breast because I think we've got plenty of chicken here with what I have cut up. I'll use that other chicken breast for something else later. So we are going to move over to my stove now to finish up this meal, but I need to wash my hands up a bit. They are very messy. So let me give my hands a quick scrub, and I will move you all over to the stove and show you how we can finish this meal up. My pasta's finished, actually. I just turned it off. Okay, oops, sorry. That was a little bit of a wild move there. Okay, I'm gonna put my chicken in the pan and turn that on. I just want to get it started warming up. And then I am gonna take, I have 1.5 cups of milk here. And I am gonna take our seasoning packet. I'm gonna open it with our Prep Pro scissors, which are phenomenal scissors, by the way. And this mix smells so good. I'm gonna pour it right in to my 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm just gonna give it a whisk. Get it all combined in there. You can smell the garlic and the Parmesan in this. You can see that it's got that pesto in there as well. Flavorings of pesto. Oh, this is gonna be a good one, I can tell. Okay, there we go. That's mixed up. Normally you would mix that up first, set it aside, and then cook your chicken. We're just gonna set it aside and warm up our chicken a little bit. I'm gonna use my 3-in-1 spoon again. Give that a little stir. I'm gonna drain my pasta real quick, and I wanna show y'all what I use to drain my pasta. Epicure has this great silicone strainer that collapses, and then when you're ready to use it, you just open it up. And so I'm gonna use that real quick to drain my pasta, and then I'm gonna toss it with a little bit of olive oil just to keep it from sticking together, but then I'm gonna keep it right back in that pan. I apologize, I keep kind of going out of the frame for y'all tonight. All right, pasta is drained. That silicone strainer, all of it fit in there, no problem. Nothing was overflowing. That strainer holds way more than it looks like it will hold. All right, I'm gonna give that a little toss with the oil. Keep it from sticking, set it aside. Give my chicken a little stir. I can tell it's starting to heat through. And then we are gonna go ahead and add our sauce mix right into our chicken. Use my spatula to scrape out that container because we want to get, look at all that garlic in there. I want to get every bit of that into my pan. See how clean it comes? I don't know if y'all can tell, I did that quickly, and still, like, this spatula works wonders to get everything out of my container. I love it. All right, and we're just gonna let that cook up for a couple of minutes. We want this to just start to thicken. It's only gonna take about 3 minutes. And when that starts to thicken, we're gonna add spinach, and then we are ready. And in a minute, my oven timer is gonna go off. We're gonna check those croissants and see if they're done. Oh my goodness, all the flavor. Like, I can just see the flavor in there. I don't know if you all can tell, but there are so many spices and flavorings in here. This is gonna be amazing. Now, I will say, one of the things I love about Epicure is that their products are low in sodium, low in sugar, and gluten-free, of course. And so sometimes my family, though, will taste something and say it's good, but it needs salt. And that's because it is low in sodium. This package, for a quarter of the package, there's 150 milligrams of sodium. So many package mixes, though, are so much higher than that in sodium. And this is actually, I think, one of the ones that has a little more sodium, but they're still very conscious of that. So if your family likes a lot of salt, have salt on the table that they can add. Epicure has sea salt grinders. You could put those out on the table, or you can add a little salt yourself. I tend to do all my cooking with lower sodium because I never know who may have health issues where they require things to be lower sodium content. And that is something that is so easy to add as you're eating your meal, that I keep things low sodium anyway, and I love that Epicure allows me to do that. Now, my timer went off for my crescent rolls, so I'm gonna check those. They're close, but I am gonna spin them around and cook them for just another couple minutes. And this has taken a minute because I didn't quite let my chicken heat up like I should have. But we're gonna keep heating this up and let it start to thicken. And then I am gonna get my spinach ready. We're gonna add 4 cups of spinach to this. Now, another suggestion I have is that when you serve this, even though it is a creamy Parmesan chicken already, I would suggest having some Parmesan cheese on the table too that people can add a little extra to it if they want. My crew loves Parmesan cheese, so that's a good thing to add. Or to have on the table. I apologize, I can't think straight at the moment. And Jacob just got home. Everybody's kind of in the house right now, so you may hear some noise in the background. But we're gonna finish this up. Oh, there we go. The sauce is starting to thicken, I can tell. Perfect. Okay. And you're gonna need to add your spinach gradually. It's gonna look like a lot of spinach, but that spinach will wilt down quite a bit, and it will not be too much, I guarantee. So let me grab, I'm just gonna eyeball my spinach. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're really cooking. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells amazing. Oh yeah, getting there. And my crescent rolls are almost done. I'm gonna pull those out so you can see them. There we go, perfect. Golden brown, nicely seasoned. My family's gonna love that. Set those aside. Turn off my oven. And there we go. This is thickening. So I'm going to start to add the spinach, a cupful at a time, which really a handful is about a cup. So there's one. I could probably fit 2 cups at a time. There's a couple. Give that a stir. And let that spinach start to wilt down. So yummy. Another thing that might be good to add on top of this is the black pepper with turmeric. I like to have that out as well to add to things. Turmeric has so many health benefits, and I love that I can add it in with my pepper and season things. Okay, another handful. I'm actually doing kind of generous cupfuls. So I'm probably doing a little more spinach than you need, but that's okay. Spinach is so good for you too. And there we go. Look at this. As I'm stirring it, that spinach is wilting down. This is going to be amazing. All right. I think that's about it. I will show y'all the finished product here. I'll just put it on a plate so you can see what it looks like, all mixed up and served up on some pasta. Let me do that real quick. We just need a bit of pasta. Again, I used brown rice pasta. So here's my pasta. I'm gonna give this a stir to make sure that spinach is wilted down. Oh yeah. And that sauce is just getting thicker and thicker. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my heat because I think it is good to go. I don't want my sauce to get too thick because that pasta is gonna soak up some of the sauce. I probably should get more than just my 3-in-1 spatula to dish it up. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, and for my crew, they'll have a crescent roll on the side. There you have it. Creamy Parmesan or Pesto Parmesan chicken, along with some herb and garlic crescent rolls. Enjoy.